Yeah, I forgot. Never mind. Okay, so this is mostly for many, but also it has to do with the ramp layer and Fangs. So right now, what we have many is you decide whether or not you can play alone, like outside, right? Where it's just one of you, and like if Leo decides to go ramp or take a pick in A, he goes. But there's also when you have on a 1+1, which is basically you and Leo mostly, right? But sometimes it's not. Leo goes elsewhere, and you have to. It's still 1+1 with Fangs, right? So he's in mini somewhere, and you're like synergized with him, like this, for example. Or this isn't a thing that we do, but it's something that we have to do as well. So basically, you're synergized with everyone. And what I thought about after speaking with Leo um, is that I believe that the outside player, which is many, is kind of like the loose guy, right? So what I think many should be doing is you should be thinking like connector or short on Mirage, as a CT, where it's literally the same logic. It's do we think it's like mid, like map control, or is it side lanes? So what I want to happen is that many decides, okay, I'm gonna play inside A now, and I want him to be like a surprise. That can be early, late round, like mid round, late round. Preferably early to mid, since late people will get killed, so there's no point. Um, so what's going to look like? It's something like this. So this is level, this is Fangs, this is many. Somewhere here should have been a squid, which is this guy. It's Leo, and then there's Taco right there. So what I want to happen is, besides these two things that we have, so this one is Leo, right? Very aggressive, like outside mostly, but Fangs is more like a passive thing. So 1+1 Leo, aggro outside, 1+1 Fangs, passive outside. Then there's alone. Okay, so what usually happens is you guys decide whether or not they're going to take map control or not, and depending on what Leo wants to do, maybe you're with Fangs or you're outside alone, right? So what I want to happen is sometimes I want you to play here, like with like in this angle, like you can play around this spot, where you're like jump spotting, etc. Playing this, then coming here, then you can just like the smokes come. This is the Euro point that if the smokes come, that's okay. You can just watch that, or you can play. The main thing also when you play here is you like to throw the molos, etc., like outside. And I think this is okay if you're with Leo, when you're more aggressive outside, But if you're alone, and with Leo too as well, like I don't think it should be thrown every time. I think you should be able to save that piece of utility because of the smokes, right? If the smokes come, you can just molly it out, You can time it, depending, you can time it, wait a little bit, and when you think they're about to come, you can molly. And then someone, like Fangs for example, can come here, throw a flash, and you can push the smoke, for example, or you can cross into secret, right? Because of the flashes and the molos, right? It helps you. So that's something you can do. The other thing would be playing more passive. So the smokes come and you're just like watching mini, like the L smokes for example. It's perfect to just do this and watch from garage. But if it's the other ones, you can do this too. And the other thing that I want to implement now is I want you to again decide whether or not you want to play outside and like inside A if you think it's going to be an A hit, or ramp. So kind of what Leo likes to do, but it's gonna be you doing it now. So Leo can still do what he was doing so far, but this is what's going to be now. So let's look at it from the T's perspective. The T's come here and they're gonna take ramp or whatever, right? Let's just say they're doing a B split for the sake of it, right? So they're gonna see taco, that's normal, and they're gonna swing out. What I want to happen is I want it sometimes to be like many somewhere around here. So maybe taco boosts him, like he mollies early, throws an HE, or many does that and like he gets boosted here. And then taco does whatever he does usually, and like you surprise them basically, or like that's the idea, right? So it's a +1 type of thing, and this is either on A or B. Okay, so it's a surprise kind of thing. This is kind of what Leo and Taco do already. So now for example here, Taco can play here, many can play here anti-flash for example, and then swing out after. Like off angles here as well, like I was just showing, or here. Or for example, Taco sees something, like with the utility throws, and then Many's right here just like hiding, you know, complete hiding. No one mollies this. Taco plays around this area and baits for Many, and then he just kills everyone, basically. Now how would this look like on A? It's the same thing. The T's come, whatever way they come from, they should be seeing Fangs and level first. And then Many is like a third guy, so he can be playing here, for example, depending, right? He can be like on Tetris, or on Top Hut, or Mustang, or whatever, right? You get the idea. Or even Fake Vent. If he's Fake Vent, that's even better, right? Because you guys rarely play here. So this is what I want to implement, okay? Basically deciding, like outside, if it's outside, do I go alone? Or, sorry, if I think it's outside, do I bring Leo with me only? Or do I tell Fangs to, hey, play Mini as well? So you can help us, you know? Maybe that's something you can do. Or if you play alone, and just around this area where you would play Garage, but you have maybe or maybe not Fangs in Mini, and you have a little bit of synergy, right? And you can play in Zaibu too as well. Just watching this cross as well, that's okay as well. Or credit card, you get the picture, right? With Fangs, it's kind of the same shit. I just realized now. Other than that, no, I think that's it really. So that's it. Like Many, along with the things that you already need to think about, it's if you think it's gonna be a B hit, go B early, set it up with Taco somehow. Towards A, the same thing, set it up with Taco, with Fangs and level. And the other thing that if you are playing A, and this is the part that I got wrong, the outside player is the guy that rotates into secret through vent, okay? It's not Fangs. I thought it was Fangs, and it is. If Many isn't close by to rotate, okay? If he's not, it's better if Fangs does it, because he's closer, you know? So, and where Leo's gonna play, like I just spoke to him, it's not all in place. But there's a lot of things that I spoke to him about, so he should be fine. You don't need to really worry about him. For now, just worry about you, and with Leo we'll fix it, you know. So recap: A or B or outside. You have 3 options. If you go outside, you have alone, you have with Leo, aggro. That's it. And you have, like, we can say that we have with Fangs passive, let's say, right, where you're watching Many or something. Or you're outside as well and you're playing alone but very passive. So there's alone passive, and then there's alone aggressive. So how does these two pan out? So alone passive would be something like Garage, etc., credit card, which you already do, but you can also play here, for example, depending on where Leo goes. But you can play Zaiwu as well. You can play Garage. You can play Credit Card. These two you already know, but you can also like, play around that, or maybe towards Mini. So you watch this, but maybe if you play Mini, it's a better idea if Leo goes Secret, right? Other than that, right, if you play aggressive alone, it would have been like your utility, for example. The utility you like to throw, for example, this. But you can also, instead of doing this, you can like throw a flash or something, and then quickly hop into Secret, right? And then throw the smoke that this guy threw. I don't know how it's supposed to be thrown. I really don't, but there's something you can do as well aggressively, right? Or of course you can like throw the utility and then just Okay, I'm sorry, you're dying. Where would you do this, man? Yeah, I don't know. Nice try. You just throw this smoke somewhere, right? And you just get towards like red, and that's it. I think I did a good recap. Right, so that's outside, and then on A 3, if something happens that you need to go down, so outside or ramp. If ramp isn't attacked, so outside is people coming and going into Secret. If there's 3 on A, you would be the one rotating and not Fangs anymore, right? Since you're the closest guy. But if you're not and there's only 2 on A, Fangs is the guy that rotates, right? And then on B, what happens? On B, it's just that, right? You set up with the guy, and then on A it's the same shit, basically. It's easy,